WVEC TV, Plan.
Time for Local Flavor 2, and here we go.
This is Jeff McKay, ABC News.
All right, all week we have been sharing Joe Flanagan stories at 5 as he joins the ranks of the retired. Yes, today is Joe and Velma Scaife's last day.
Joe has spent 31 years here at ABC 13. In fact, I was just a kid when he joined us. He tells us this final story he wants to share with us is one of his personal favorites and very personal for incredible reasons.
Yeah, in 1993, WVEC TV sent Joe and his mother to Ireland for a very special assignment.
Right, Janet, back in the days when there were big budgets, big ideas, big chances to travel, this was a home run for me personally. Yeah, this one, the chance to trace my mother's Irish roots and produce a half-hour special for Mother's Day. I use this a lot when I give speeches and tear up every time. Yep, 1993, and I told the station, you treat me well and you've got me. And I added, you treat my mama right and you've got me for a lifetime. Looks like it worked.
Happy Mother's Day from Dublin, Ireland. I'm Joe Flanagan. I've got me Irish hat, me Irish sweater. I've even got me Irish mother alongside of me. This is Harriet Flanagan. Say hi, Mom.
Hello.
We are celebrating Mother's Day this year by tracing our family roots and kissing the Blarney Stone. We're going to visit an authentic Irish country inn and even see how they make that world-famous Waterford crystal. But our journey begins in Killarney, where we happen to cross the annual Killarney Folk Festival. Music, pubs, and people. What more could we ask for on our first day in Ireland? 10,000 people live here in Killarney, and they say every other building is a pub. And on this day, every other pub had some form of live, foot-stomping Irish jamming going on. None more famous than this man. He's Johnny O'Leary, recognized in these parts as the best authentic Irish mountain music man in all the land. A lot of work?
A lot of work in it, a lot of work in it. Sweat, yeah, hardship.
They don't do it for money. It's not financial. It's just, it comes from here.
It went on into the wee hours of the morning as hundreds kicked up their heels at a Céilí, sort of an Irish square dance. There were polka sets, jig sets, and some called a Clare set. Whatever set it was, these folk festival goers were set on having a good time.
And the music that we heard here today is the music of Killarney, the Killarney area, and it's very special. It goes back a long way.
Are these flowers on here now? Or
wild iris. Blooms the yellow flower in July.
Huh. July?
Yeah.
Me Irish mother's grandmother was a woman named Catherine Corkery. Catherine was born in America, but her father Andrew Corkery was born here in the Old Sod. County Cork, to be exact, born in 1829. Our goal was to learn as much as we could about the Corkery name in Andrew's hometown or parish. It wouldn't be easy in a week's time, but one thing was already becoming quite clear.
Yeah, well, they say the Irish people never go to hell, because they say we're all too green to burn.
That keen Irish sense of humor, so prevalent on me mother's side of the family, took root here and was passed down when Andrew married in America, I'm sure.
Don't believe in getting married either in this country. We say, why make one sorry while you can make them all happy?
With the luck of the Irish, our driver Paul here knew the Corkery name and took us to a Corkery store in downtown Killarney.
We are from America looking for some Corkerys. Are there any here?
Yeah, there's Corkery down here.
Bingo! In the back room was a Timothy Corkery. Timothy reminded me of an older Phil Donahue. And I asked him if there was any connection between his corkeries and our corkeries.
Well, no, there'll be no connection of the corkeries here with the corkeries in Cork, or the corkeries in Killarney, or the corkeries in North Kerry.
Oh, well, we felt some sense of accomplishment, meeting a living, breathing corkery our first full day in Ireland. It was time to hit the road. Now, to give you some idea where we were, we flew into Shannon on the western side of Ireland. From there, we drove south through Limerick and Tralee and on into Killarney. Today, the road would take us past Lady's View in the mountains outside Killarney. And what a view it is.
Wonder if it's bad luck to cross that. We better wait.
Driving in Ireland is a trip in itself. Be prepared to sit on the other side of the car, drive on the other side of the road, and travel down roads that, well, look like country lanes. But no time to dally. We only had a week to trace our routes and see the sights, like the world-famous Blarney Castle. Built in 1450, legend has it that if you kiss the Blarney Stone, you'll receive the gift of eloquence.
There you go.
Kissing the stone is quite a process.
Did you get me? Yeah! Did you get me? Hi, America.
Kissing comes first, eloquence second.
43, 44, 45.
Getting to the stone involves climbing the castle tower over 100 castle steps. Once you're there, you're under the watchful eye of Christy Dennehy. Talk about a Joe's job.
You get them to hold the bars and take their time. It's the whole secret. You get some people who are in a rush, and then they end up splitting their heads. Whereas if you take your time, do it properly, anybody can kiss it in the right place.
Now, Mom Flanagan decided she was eloquent enough, and there were too many castle steps.
I'm stopping.
All right, you stay here, and I'll go up.
So I forged on alone. Meanwhile, back at the stone, Christy was talking about the best place to kiss it.
Most people like to kiss it on the bottom edge. But, you know, it depends on the mobility of the person. You know, how far back their back will allow them go, you know.
Kissing the stone has only been going on for 300 years. Some say the stone may have come from the Crusades, while others say it may have been a gift from a Scottish ruler.
Let me go way down here. A friend of mine said he kissed it underneath.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you kissed it.
Man, oh man, what a view. Oh! All right, thank you.
I was feeling more eloquent already, but I had one more question. How many times has Christy kissed the Blarney Stone?
Oh, I kiss it every morning, see if it's kissing back. Then I'm in trouble if it does.
And as for Mom Flanagan, she stuck to her first love, shopping. I had to borrow her back, though, to sign my Blarney certificate. I love this country. Coming up, something's cooking at Ballymaloe.
Joe Flanagan's Return to the Emerald Isle is brought to you by Haynes Furniture, where you can afford what you really want.
Back on the trail of our ancestry, me and my Irish mother pulled into Kenmare, a small town on the edge of the Ring of Kerry, a wonderful drive around the highest mountains in Ireland. A relative told us there were some corkeries in Kenmare, and sure enough, the local gas station attendant sent me to a grocery store on Main Street run by John Corkery. No Irish luck this time. It was closed. But 2 doors down, a travel agent referred me to the phone book and pointed out John's number. Like Superman, I leaped into the nearest phone booth and called John Corkery. He wanted to hear all about me and the American corkeries.
Andrew Corkery was born in 1829, and I believe County Cork.
But to make a long story short, once again, no connection between these corkeries and my corkeries of County Cork. Where the rolling hills of County Cork kiss the shores of the Celtic Sea in southern Ireland, you'll find the quiet, peaceful village of Ballymaloe. The second stop on our week-long tour, Ballymaloe hit the bullseye for local flavor. Home of the Ballymaloe Country Inn, it's even more famous for the Ballymaloe Cookery School run by Dorena Allen.
So you lift that up onto the baking sheet. Tidy it up again. I'm actually going to cut the cross even deeper.
Dorina is the 90s version of Julia Child and a household name in Ireland. She teaches an intense 12-week cooking course which some say qualifies her students for jobs anywhere in the world. She does network television shows called Simply Delicious that are accompanied by books that soar to the top of the bestseller list. Yes, as sure as St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland, Dorina is out to drive the image of plain old Irish cuisine to new heights.
And we're beginning to, and this has been my whole aim, is to actually persuade people through my television programs and through my books to actually look around them and see what's wonderful in their locality, and then to serve that in season and to serve it proudly as really delicious, wonderful, fresh, wholesome Irish food. And people are beginning to do that.
Take this Irish soda bread, for instance.
Absolutely, and if this is something you can make in America, you really, really can. You want to try and find the coarsest, preferably stone ground, brown wholemeal flour that you can find, or wheatmeal flour. Now, Harriet, how about a bit of that? Thank you very much. Good.
She cooked us an Irish breakfast complete with black pudding, and bite by delicious bite, we were getting a feel for the flavor of Ireland. Much more than that old image of potatoes, potatoes, potatoes.
We still have our potatoes, and they are wonderful, and the lovely Irish potato dishes like champ that I did for you in the kitchen, and cold cannon and poundies. But side by side, we have, of course, marvellous fish from the sea, lovely lamb, very good poultry, wonderful beef, and so on. Really, really good ingredients, and we're now beginning to realise what we have, because most of it is reared on a very small scale. So, in fact, we have that advantage, and the food tastes very good. The flavour is very good.
The influence for Country Fresh came from Dorina's in-laws, who've operated the Ballymaloe Country Inn for 30 years. Myrtle Allen ran a successful restaurant in Paris where every day the menu changed according to what was fresh and available.
And I was very much influenced by articles I'd read on the French country restaurants, Michelin-starred restaurants that were worth a detour.
This country inn business took some time to get used to for Ivan Allen.
It seemed strange at first when complete strangers come in and sat down in the drawing room and didn't even say hello. But we got used to that. And basically, I've enjoyed it all the time.
Wouldn't you enjoy living out here in the country?
It's very nice. It also gives us some money to spend on the house, so that the house is in good shape now. And if I was not doing this, I don't know where we'd find the money to mend the holes in the roof.
Dorina's cooked for kings, queens, and even our own President Clinton. Her 12-week course costs a healthy $5,000. It's a storybook life in a storybook setting. And by the end of this story, me and me Irish mother were most grateful for this local taste of Irish cuisine and meeting Dorina Allen. Next, it's on to Waterford to see how they make these timeless beauties known throughout the world.
Yeah, it sounds like Father Cochran is the way to go. He might be the...
If you're going to trace your roots, take it from me and get as much information as you can before you travel to the land of your ancestors. A librarian in Cork City did find an Andrew Corkery, and he also referred me to another Corkery, Michael Corkery, an attorney. Michael looked like the classic Irishman and sounded like it, too. He was good enough to call the parish where my librarian friend discovered an Andrew Corkery, possibly mine.
I have people with me here from the States, and they were given your name because they're trying to trace an ancestor whose name was Andrew Corkery, and who left apparently the parish of Bantier in or about 1850.
One of the main references in Ireland for tracing is the Griffiths Valuation Survey. It starts at the end of the Great Potato Famine, 1850. Unfortunately, my relative left at the height of the famine in 1849. The dates of the Andrew we found didn't quite mesh with the dates we were given from home. What we needed was more time and more information, neither of which we had.
But the thing is that if he got the chance of doing another bit of research or some information came his way, he might be able to drop you a line with that extra information, so that if he had, for example, a mother's maiden name or something like that, That might bring you back the line a bit further. Yeah.
Yeah, so close here in County Cork, yet so far. Our third stop on this Joe and Harriet's excellent adventure was County Waterford, home of the world-famous Waterford Crystal. Little did I know this would be the spot not only for a Joe's job, but for a Joe's mother's job as well.
I was just standing there minding my own business, watching the men do their day's work. And this one man came down off of the platform and took me by the hand and told me to come up here. And so I was given one of these great big blowers to blow the glass like the men were doing.
What a trooper. Mom blew her lungs out. Well, you know what I mean. Son Joe wasn't faring much better. Hands-on experience like this only confirms what you already know. These are some unbelievable craftsmen.
Well, I think it's something, a combination, we say, of the eye and the hands and the ear, of course, that you blow into it. But it takes many years to develop the skill as well, and you must have a great interest in what you're doing and have a feel for it, which you will get over a period of time. But I mean, it's something that you must enjoy doing, like any craft.
24 hours a day, 365 days a year, the fires are burning here at Waterford. They've been doing this for over 200 years, but every day is an intense day.
They're paid a piece rate, so the number of pieces they produce a day is vital to them to maintain their salary levels. But also there's a pride, a craftsman's pride in producing the things right and as fast as they possibly can. When you're in a situation with producing a raw material that takes 36 hours to prepare to get to its molten state, you've got a very short window of opportunity, to use a current phrase, in which to make crystal in the day.
Blowing the glass is one thing, but cutting it involves first marking the piece with a desired Waterford cut. Then the master cutters take over using a diamond edge blade.
Well, I'm looking at uniformity in the depth and in the thickness of the cut. I'm looking for straight line. I'm looking for good points, good depths. All the cuts going to look exactly the same when I'm finished.
And do you think these cutters are proud of what they do?
It's very rare to meet a cutter who is here just for the money. The money is good, but the quality of the work, great pride in Waterford and what it means, great pride.
They are found in china cabinets and trophy cases around the world, sparkling tributes to the Irish craftsmen who put their heart and soul into each and every piece. Oh, and after a hard day on the job, Mom Flanagan found some memories for home. And what memories she'll have of this one. Andrew Corkery, the final chapter, when we return. Cork City. Some call it the Paris of Ireland. We met some friends of the family here and found them warm and very friendly. In fact, one of them, Tom Kelly, escorted us the next day to what was the highlight of our search for Andrew Corkery and where our family came from. From the 1800s until 1950, this was Ireland's main transatlantic port, Cove Harbor. Any Hampton Roads family who can trace their roots to Ireland, it's a safe bet to say that this is the place where it all began. In fact, while I couldn't locate the exact town where Andrew Corkery came from, I do know in 1849 this would have been the harbor where he said goodbye to Ireland, looked ahead to America, and carried my family's future in his suitcase. It was a moving moment. I thought about a lot of things, time, the past, the courage of Andrew Corkery. And I thought about my mother, the meaningful things in life that were passed down to her from her Irish roots, and what she in turn so generously passed down to me, my brother, my two sisters. And as I found out later, this moment meant the world to her.
Dear Joe, we have just returned from the trip of a lifetime. To be able to walk the same ground as my ancestors was a dream come true for me. to walk around and to see the very same sights the immigrants saw as they left their homeland for the last time was very heart-rending. This Mother's Day gift will never be forgotten. Thank you so much for inviting me to celebrate this special day. My thoughts and prayers are with you, Joe. Love, your mother.
Joe Flanagan's Return to the Emerald Isle is brought to you by Haynes Furniture, where you can afford what you really want.
WVEC.